Hopefully everybody can hear me. The proposed items for consideration by council for the regular meeting immediately following will be the engineer's report, ordinance first reading, public hearing set for April 2020, ordinance 2020-2, an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 28, Police Department, amending sections 28-1, Department Established Composition. Ordinance first reading, public hearing set for April 20, 2020. Ordinance 2020-6, an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Administration of Government, Article 8, Department of Administration, by adding 2-45A-2, establish the position of part-time human resources officer. Ordinance first reading, public hearing set for April 20, 2020. Ordinance 20-7.
What they need, and we want to make sure that they feel comfortable.
Bond. I heard somebody talking.
Potential shortages, other places, some places, most of it's about.
What's that? Okay. Bond ordinance providing for improvements to Old Stage Road, appropriating $150,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 142,500 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the costs thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey. Ordinance first reading, public hearing set for April 20th, 2020. Ordinance 2020-8, capital ordinance providing for the DeVoe Lake remediation and restoration project and appropriating $2,500,000 therefore authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey. Resolutions under consent agenda. To attend the meeting, log into, and that's already information you've been provided. The public can submit questions in advance by emailing bcm@spotswood.borough.com. I have a proclamation to read. Find it. I already read that. Damn it, I just had it.
Hey, Tim, I'm sorry to interrupt. Larry Sachs had just called me, and he might be in the waiting room. I just wanted to give you a heads up in case you have to unmute him or get him on somehow.
So is Mayor Sealy.
Tim, Larry Sachs is in the waiting room. You may have to, he's in? Okay.
Okay, do you want me to try to do roll call and read the engineer's report? I can kind of hear you guys pretty well, so.
Yeah, I can hear you really good now. So if you want to do that,
All right.
go ahead.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Councilman Rivera?
Here.
Councilman Malillo? Councilman Spacuzzo?
Here?
Council President Kramer?
Here.
Mayor Sealy? I think Dawn said he might be in the waiting room.
I think he's muted. He might be in the waiting room.
Don't want to see if the mayor's in the waiting room. He said he's not. Yeah, Tim said he's not in there.
You gotta hang on to
I will. Hang this up for me.
Sorry, folks, I'm in.
All right, Larry.
Okay, I'm gonna try to read the engineer's report.
Go ahead.
NJDOT fiscal year 2020 local aid program / PSC&G. The borough received a $5,000 grant from the NJDOT for the fiscal year 2020 municipal aid program, and we have forwarded the borough proposal outlining the scope of work. PSD&G is continuing their gas main upgrade work. Cottage Street's area improvements. The contractor has demobilized for the winter and has advised us they will review their schedule for remobilization in mid-April. It appears JCP&L and Verizon have completed pole installations. Comcast has advised us they have scheduled and completed the transfer of cable services. We have contacted Verizon to confirm removing the obsolete utility poles has been scheduled. Improvements to Brunswick Ave and the Karen Street drainage improvements. The contractor has dug test pits in order to determine the existing water main and gas main locations. We are reviewing adjustments that are needed to the storm sewer system. The contractor has advised us they are tentatively scheduling their start date for mid-April. Improvements to Adirondack Avenue. The borough received a $542,200 grant from the NJDOT 2019 Local Aid Program for Adirondack Avenue from Hudson Avenue to Burlington Ave, and we're working on the project design. We have prepared the proposed easement acquisition documents for 350 Adirondack Avenue, and we'll be forwarding them to the borough attorney. DeVoe Lake dredging. We have reviewed the dredging options based on the bathymetry and are waiting to be authorized to prepare the plans, permits, and bid documents. And that's all for the engineer's report.
Thank you, Alyssa. Okay, so I'm going to read this proclamation. It's Congenital Demographic, I pronounced that incorrectly, Hernia Awareness Day. Whereas congenital diaphragmatic hernia, or CHD, is a birth defect that occurs during fetal development, causing a hole in the infant's diaphragm, allowing organs to migrate through the hole and crowding the abdomen, and ultimately may cause the infant's lungs to be small and underdeveloped. And whereas once in every 2,500 pregnancies are diagnosed with CDH, and whereas since 2000, it is estimated that over 500,000 babies have been born with CDH, with a survival rate of only 50%. And whereas CDH is as common as spina bifida, though very few people are aware of the condition. Whereas 1,600 babies are born with CDH every year in the US, and those with CDH often endure multiple surgeries and possible medical complications beyond their diagnosis, which includes heart defects, pulmonary complications, gastric and intestinal problems, developmental delays, and may require respiratory and medicinal support for years. And whereas raising awareness of this congenital defect will help bring about acceptance and support for those suffering with it, and will help advocate for urgently needed medical research and advances. And whereas there are many families living in New Jersey with babies who have been diagnosed with and survive CDH, including that of our own Marilyn Israel, whose grandson Asher was born with this defect. Although many families have endured the horrible pain and grief associated with the loss of loved ones to this condition. Now, therefore, I, Ed Seeley, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, together with our governing body, do hereby proclaim April 19th, 2020 to be Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernia Awareness Day, and encourage all residents to join in this observance by wearing blue, pink, yellow, or white. I further proclaim that Sunday, April 19, 2020, be designated Asher Garcia Day in the Borough of Spotswood to celebrate this little warrior. He will be 9 months old on April 5th and thankfully is doing well. Dated April 6, 2020, Ed Seeley, Mayor. Is there any discussion on anything that we were partially able to hear? Any of the ordinances by the council? Nothing? Okay, then we'll open it to the public.
Resolutions under,
Go ahead, Alyssa.
I can't
Are you still there?
hear, but you're cutting it.
Yeah, so were you. Is that any better?
Did you read? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Did you read the resolutions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I should read them again.
Yeah, just read them again because I don't know if you were cutting in and out for it.
Okay. Propose items for consideration by council for the regular meeting immediately following. Ordinance, first reading, public hearing set for April 20th, 2020. Ordinance 2020-2. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 28, Police Department, amending Sections 28-1, Department Established Composition. Ordinance of first reading, public hearing set for April 20th, 2020. Ordinance 2020-6. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Administration of Government, Article, I guess that's 8, Department of Administration by adding 2:45A to establish the position of part-time human resources officer. Ordinance, first reading, public hearing set for April 2020. Ordinance 2020-7, bond ordinance providing for improvements to Old Stage Road, appropriating $150,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $142,500 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey. Ordinance first reading, public hearing set for April 20, 2020. Ordinance 2020-8, capital ordinance providing for the DeVoe Lake Remediation and Restoration Project and appropriating $2.5 million, therefore authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey. Those resolutions are under consent agenda. Okay. All right, so are we opening it to the public now?
Well, on the next page of the agenda, there's the resolutions.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
That's really what I meant.
Okay,
Yeah, just so the record's clear, Councilman Kramer, the ordinances you read are for consideration for first reading at the regular meeting. And I guess we just now need to, if you can just mention the resolutions under
Yeah.
the consent agenda. And then we
yeah, no
right.
problem.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. 2020-60, emergency temporary budget appropriations, carried over from 3/16/20 meeting. 2020-62, payment of bills, and there is an issue with one bill that the council needs to vote on. 2020-64, introduction of the 2020 municipal budget. And then 2020-66, agreement for medical direction services and Spotswood Emergency Medical Services, term April 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021, for consideration of $3,000 to provide medical direct to Spotswood. So,
You read.
All right. So now,
Guess if there's any.
well, there is
So, and then
one.
you-
I'm sorry, Larry. I keep interrupting you. There is one thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been complaining about it. So instead of it being pulled and then added on again, I want the council to vote on the reimbursement for NJLOM annual for Dawn McDonald, because it keeps getting pulled and then it keeps getting put back on. Let's get it over with, put it to the council for a vote to pay it, and, you know, get it over with.
Okay, that could be done during the regular meeting.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just giving everybody a breakdown on why we're not completing the payment of bills yet.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we can open it now to the public.
Yes.
I make a motion open to the public.
All right, John seconded it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody from the public?
So I believe that if anyone from the public wants to, they can press the icon on the side. Under where it says participants, you click on that and then everyone's name will pop up. You can just press the raise hand emoji and then you'll be able to get you unmuted and be able to speak.
Thank you, Alyssa. Thanks for the instructions.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'd wait a minute or two. Let's just see if anybody needs to.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
Tim checking it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no questions for me from the public.
Council President, give it another minute. I just want to
Mhm.
make sure anyone who has an opportunity to participate can do so.
Okay, we have a question.
Okay.
Dave?
Okay, I'm unmuted, right?
Yes, you are.
Hi, Larry.
Hi,
Hi,
Diane.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm fine. I'm going a little stir crazy, as most of us are.
Yeah.
But the more we stay in, the sooner this will be over. So, just a question. Did you guys run a dry run on this before tonight?
We did, and it went pretty smooth, but it was just us.
Okay.
You know, like we were able to communicate with each other. So I guess maybe with so many people wanting to communicate, it kind of,
It boxes it up.
yeah, it slowed it down, and it took us a little while to figure it out.
Okay, that's cool. I understand that. Is this something that we foresee going on in the future? This form of meeting?
No, I would much rather be able to see people's faces, and I'm hoping that this doesn't last long, because I'll be honest with you, my computer skills are slim and none. If it wasn't for my man Tim here, I'd probably be staring at a blank computer screen right now.
Gotcha. Well, you know what, Larry? I'd much rather look at your smiling face. So,
Why, thank you, Diane. That was very sweet of you.
so all right, that's all.
All right.
I'm hanging on for the rest of the meeting, babe.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else?
And just for reference, if we're doing it the same way we do all the other meetings, if we can, I know Diane didn't do it, but if we can all try to remember to state your name
Yeah,
and
Diane. She's already
um,
done.
your address.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I would appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa. I forgot to
that's
say that.
No, that's okay. No problem.
So I guess it says one person is waiting. Oh, that's okay. All right, so
Well, Council President, if there's no one else wanting to talk during this portion of the public comment, I guess we can entertain a motion to close the public portion. That can be seconded, and then we can vote on that.
Sorry.
yeah, hold on. Jackie Palmer just clicked
No
in.
problem. Sure. Okay.
Hi, Jackie.
Hello, Larry. Hi, guys. Jackie Palmer, 9 Shupin Street in Spotswood.
Yep, thank you.
No problem. And so one recommendation I would make is that everybody, including the council, mute yourselves because Larry Sachs, as you're moving around on your video, it's cutting everybody out, and we can't. You move your computer, and it makes a sound that cuts Larry Kramer out, and we can't.
You know what? I apologize for that. I thought I had a problem with the reception in the room I was in, but it's okay now. So sorry
Nope.
about that.
Nope. That was every time you moved, everybody cut out. So
No problem. No problem. I'm stationary.
I have a question. So I know, Larry Kramer, you mentioned about the reimbursement for Dawn's NJLOM fee, and I also see on the bill list the professional services for the investigator that we had already pulled and voted that we were not going to pay them, or it was pulled off and you didn't vote, whatever the case may be. So yet again, that's here, and we've had no resolution for any of you guys, like as to what was going to happen. Where's that report? And I don't believe that the taxpayers should have to foot the bill for this until we actually see that report and know what it looks like, and it gets publicized, because this is an issue. And that's a lot of money.
So Larry, can you answer that for her, please?
Yes. Certainly. I mean, obviously, that particular professional did provide services to the municipality last year. I mean, I have not received any telephone calls from that particular law firm looking to get their bill paid. Probably in this climate, I'm probably not going to get that telephone call, only because the world is somewhat upside down. Certainly, if the services were rendered, they should be paid. If there's some guidance that the council wants me to do with respect to getting additional documentation or information from that law firm and that investigator, the independent investigation, I'm certainly willing to do that, council. So that's really up to the council.
Let me ask you, Larry, a question. When
Yes.
would this investigation be able to be made public? And can it be?
It cannot yet. The report was provided.
Right.
I do have a copy of it. I was provided it by my predecessor. But since the litigation is still ongoing with the chief and the captain and the EMS director, we cannot disclose that. It's obviously confidential at this particular point. Certainly when the litigation is resolved, it becomes a public record, and certainly would be at that particular time. But again, certainly it's the prerogative of the council to pull that bill as well. And if the council wants to instruct me to get additional documentation, perhaps, to see if that bill is a verifiable bill, and maybe to just peruse it myself, because I don't think I've ever seen the bill, quite frankly, but just to peruse it and see if it seems reasonable for what the services that were provided are backing up that bill, I'll certainly do that, council. So you certainly can pull that one if you'd like, or you can pay it. That's strictly up to the council.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to pull it, and I would like you to get that information and and investigate that for us.
Okay.
Because I didn't agree with how the investigation went, but I do know that eventually we're going to have to pay it. I'd like to know more about it myself.
Okay. If that's the pleasure of the council, then what I can do is between now and the next council meeting, I will reach out to that law firm. I'll ask for backup documentation. I'll take a look at it, and I'll give you my opinion if it's a reasonable bill or not.
Okay.
We can't always say we necessarily agree with the outcome of an investigation,
Right.
but obviously it is what it is in terms of the outcome, and certainly the professional is entitled to be paid. But I'll do that if that's the council's request. So I guess when we get to the regular meeting, if you want to pull that bill as well, we'll have to do that at that particular time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
That's what, Larry.
Yes, Marilyn.
How are you, dear?
I'm okay, honey. And you?
Okay. You know, I couldn't hear you when you were reading the proclamation. You were cutting.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is at the beginning of the next meeting, I'll read it again just for you.
Oh, thank you, honey.
You're welcome. So, Jackie, are you still there? Jackie's muted. Can we
I'm here.
Jackie, okay, we're going to pull that one, and Larry's going to do a little investigation for us. As I said before, eventually we're going to have to pay it, because whether we agree with the service she provided, which we don't, she still provided a service, but I would still rather have Larry look into it and see if maybe it was a service that, wasn't as complete as we had anticipated.
Well, what I would request that you guys do is pull the bills, and Larry Sachs, this is some information for you. As you know, we've seen those bills, and we were double billed as the labor attorney and this investigator were having conversations back and forth. So while the bill itself, while the work may have been done, it was not done in the appropriate manner and where it was supposed to be done as an individual independent investigation. It was done basically I'll call it in cahoots, basically with the labor attorney, which I believe from the minutes of the closed session meeting that came out when we hired her, that the information was supposed to only go to Councilman Spacuzzo, who was the president at the time. There was not to be any discussion with anybody but him.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'll be glad to take a look at the details of the bill. So that can be done.
thank you. I have one other question on the bill list. All the way at the bottom of the first page, there's 2 Middlesex County clerk fees. They look the same, but they have 2 different POs. They're both for $13. I'm just curious what
Oh
they
yeah, I can respond to that. Those were checks that had to be cut to record some of the easements on Brunswick Avenue for the sidewalk, because we have recorded a few of them already. So that's what those were for.
Okay.
Yes.
It's missing. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jackie.
Hey, Larry?
Yes.
No, Sachs. Larry Sachs.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
How many more easements we're still waiting for Brunswick?
Well, believe it or not, I think I mentioned at the last council meeting that I sent out I wouldn't call it a threatening letter, but it was certainly a letter that would have gotten someone's attention. And it worked because of at that time, I think there were eight delinquent property owners who had not responded. They've all since responded. So I think we're in excellent shape at this point. So I'm starting to get back the signed deeds in dribs and drabs. I know one was just sent to me today. So hopefully by the end of the month, I'll have all the deeds. We'll send them all in as a batch to get recorded, and then we can go forward with the project. So it does not look like we'll have to engage in any condemnation actions at this point.
Anyone else? Hi, Colleen.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. Colleen Ronco, Manalapan Road. I have a question on the bill list.
Mhm.
We're paying animal control for, I guess, last month's payment.
Hold the two of them. The two of them do the talk. Holler.
All right, somebody's talking too much.
You're listening to me.
I lost her. Yeah, somebody else in there is awful loud.
No, there's nobody else here in my house except
No,
me.
I didn't mean on you.
Oh.
Somebody else on the waiting list was a little loud. Go ahead.
So we paid them, I think it was $1,096 last month for animal control. Does anybody know what our monthly fee is for them? What the contract is?
I'll be honest with you. I
before
don't.
we pick up the animals?
Yeah, I don't. I don't even know who would know that.
The regular fee is $450 that we pay them.
Okay, so that was $450, so we're paying almost, what was it, $450, $650 more. Do we know what that $650 was for? Because that's almost double.
No,
It's more than double.
I'm looking at the bill right now, and normally it will say like what it's for. It
Huh.
one says it's possible cruelty and assistant the public. I don't know what that really means, but that's the extra fee that we're on.
Can we
Maybe,
get an actual breakdown of what that is? I mean,
I could probably look into or get a hold of East Brunswick to see what exactly that's for.
yeah,
yeah,
because they should be sending a breakdown as well, because that's, I mean, if we're only paying $450 a month, so that's a little over $5,000 a year that we're paying them, and then all these additional fees on top of that, like what does that $450 constitute? Because if she had to come out to pick up an animal, and we're paying $150 a pop to pick up an animal, what exactly is that $450 for? It's got to be, I mean, is it just to have them on call? Or is there something in there and then we go over that amount at the end of the month? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what is that $450 for?
yeah, I agree. I think it should be looked into also because that's a lot of extra money.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than double what, for the month. So I'm just curious. And that seems to be pretty consistent when we're paying animal control. So I want to know what it is that they're actually paying and what the breakdown is and what the breakdown of that $450 is. Is that just to hold them on call? Or is that like, if we pick up 3 cats and that eats up the $450 and then they start billing us after that? Or do they bill us for the first animal that they pick up for the month? So that's, my concern.
Yeah, Alyssa, we can look into that, right?
Yeah, I can look into that for you. I believe that the $450 is to have them on call, and anything extra going out and picking up an animal, that's an extra fee. But I can look into it just to be 100% for you.
Yeah, because I would be concerned with the fact that $450, if we don't pick up any animals for the month. I mean, I understand we're paying them, a minimum of $450, but that minimum of $450 should be including something, not just to have the girl on call. If she doesn't pick up an animal all year long, you understand what I'm saying? It's just,
I can look into it for you.
I don't know. Honestly, if we could get a copy of the contract and actually see what the $450 is for and what they're billing us, for additional stuff after that.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Colleen.
Thanks.
All right. Is there anybody else? What's that? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Larry.
Diane? Yeah, no, she's still muted.
Do I?
Okay, Diane, what's up there?
Well, actually, Jackie already asked my question. It was about the two $13 charges for the same a deed for the same block. So,
Okay.
Yeah, they were just, again, the same block, but two different lots on that block. So.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. No problem.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I make a motion. Jackie's back? Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Jackie Palmer, 9 Shupin Street. So the ordinance 2020-6, I have a question regarding the receipt of the directive from the State of New Jersey Civil Service Commission to all municipalities. Can you tell me when that communication was sent out?
2020, which one is that, Jackie?
F6, the one about the human resources officer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I think, Jackie, I think that, and by the way, it's not it's more or less a recommendation rather than a command from the state of New Jersey, but they want all towns to establish this position. And I believe it did come out towards the end of last year. I don't have the exact date, but it was towards the end of last year.
Okay, so prior to this letter coming out, we didn't have specified a human resources officer, or was that position rolled into the business administrator's role?
It was probably rolled into the business administrator's role, but now there has to be a separate human resources officer. So that's why.
Imagine that.
Pardon me?
Diane.
I'm sorry.
That's Diane.
Somebody didn't mute me.
Oh, okay. Mute yourself, please.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, right. So now we do have to establish that position. It has to be a separate individual and has to be part-time.
Sorry, can I ask you to get me a copy of that directive, please?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, I will.
Do you want me to request it, or can you just email it to me?
No. I think I probably have it in my office.
Sure.
I don't go there that frequently any longer, but I can get it for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Not a
Jackie, thank you. All right, so now I'd like to make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, give me a couple of minutes and we'll start the next one.
Larry, just adjourn it first.
Oh, okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So where's my other? Here. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, this special meeting was called for Monday, April 6, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. at Borough Hall located at 77 Summerhill Road in Spotswood, New Jersey. Pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-8, this meeting will be held by means of the use of electronic communications equipment. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, no members of the public shall be permitted to physically attend the meeting. The public, however, is invited to attend the meeting electronically. This special meeting was advertised on the Spotswood website and in the Home News Tribune. Now, call to order, salute the flag, and a moment of silence, and then roll call. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm going to reread the resolution, not the resolution, yeah.
Larry, let me just do roll call first.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Councilman Rivera?
Here.
Councilman Malillo? Councilman Spapuzzo?
Here.
Council President Kramer?
Here.
Mayor Sealy?
All right. I'm going to read this. Excuse my horrible pronunciation of this disease, but Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernia Awareness Day. Whereas congenital diaphragmatic hernia, or CHD, is a birth defect that occurs during fetal development, causing a hole in the infant's diaphragm, allowing organs to migrate through the hole and crowding the abdomen, and ultimately may cause the infant's lungs to be small and underdeveloped. And whereas 1 in every 2,500 pregnancies are diagnosed with CDH, and whereas since 2000, it is estimated that over 500,000 babies have been born with CDH, with a survival rate of only 50%. And whereas CDH is as common as spina bifida, though very few people are aware of the condition. And whereas 1,600 babies are born with CDH every year in the U.S., and those with CDH often endure multiple surgeries and possible medical complications beyond their diagnosis, which includes heart defects, pulmonary complications, gastric and intestinal problems, developmental delays, and may require respiratory and medicinal support for years. And whereas raising awareness of this congenital defect will help bring about acceptance and support for those suffering with it, and will help advocate for urgently needed medical research and advances. And whereas there are many families living in New Jersey with babies who have been diagnosed with and survived CDH, including that of our own Marilyn Israel, whose grandson Asher was born with this defect. Though many families have endured the horrible pain and grief associated with the loss of loved ones to this condition. Now, therefore, I, Ed Seeley, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, together with the governing body, do proclaim April 19th, 2020 to be Congenital Demographic Hernia Awareness Day, and encourage all residents to join in this observance by wearing blue, pink, yellow, or white. I further proclaim that Sunday, April 19th, 2020, be designated as Asher Garcia Day in the Borough of Spotswood to celebrate this little warrior. He will be 9 months old on April 5th and thankfully is doing well. Dated April 6, 2020, Ed Seeley, Mayor. All right, I guess you can go ahead, Alyssa.
Okay, so there's gonna be no minutes for this meeting. So we have an ordinance 2020-2 on first reading. Public hearing is set for April 20th, 2020. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 28, Police Department, amending Sections 28-1, Department Establishment Composition. Take a motion to pass it on first reading.
Make a motion to pass the first reading.
Second.
We need a second. Yeah, thank you.
Didn't hear you, John. Go ahead.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Malillo? Councilman Spacuzzo?
Yes.
Council President Kramer?
Yes.
We have another ordinance on first reading, ordinance 2020-6, public hearing set for April 20th, 2020. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, Administration of Government, Article 7, I think that says? Department.
7.
Yeah, something like that. Department of Administration by adding 2-45A to establish the position of part-time Human Resources Officer.
The motion to pass the motion. 2026, pass the motion. Pass the
Well,
ordinance.
it's a motion for first reading, Councilman Malillo, but that's fine. So we need a second.
Second it.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Malillo?
Yes.
Councilman Spacuzzo?
Yes.
Council President Kramer?
Yes.
We have another ordinance on first reading, ordinance 2020-7, public hearing set for April 20th, 2020. Bond ordinance providing for improvements to Old Stage Road, appropriating $150,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 142,500 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Make a motion to pass the ordinance. 2026.
Again, motion for first reading. That's fine, Councilman Malillo. Yep. We need a second.
I'll second it.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Malillo?
Yes.
Councilman Spacuzzo?
Yes.
Council President Kramer?
Yes.
Last ordinance on first reading, ordinance 2020-8, public hearing set for April 20th, 2020. Capital ordinance providing for the DeVoe Lake remediation and restoration project and appropriating $2,500,000 thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Make a motion to pass, set the
First
hearing
reading.
for April 20th, 2020.
Second.
Councilman Ritchie, Councilman Rivera,
Yes.
Councilman Malillo,
Yes.
Councilman Spacuzzo,
Yes.
Council President Kramer.
Yes.
Council President, council members, I'll take a motion to accept the resolutions on the consent agenda. Resolutions 2020-60, 2020-62, 2020-64, and 2020-66.
Okay.
And Alyssa, I think
I know on
for
the-
2020-62, which would be the, yes, the two that you for tonight, 19-8.
Yeah, you're fading in and out again.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Borough and Liebman, 5,000. And the other 19,408 for reimbursement. Municipality.
Yeah, you're
Cents.
going,
Yeah, you're
Can you hear
fading
me?
in it. Yeah, you're budging in and out again.
Statement two that I just,
Yeah, hold on one second because I didn't hear half of what you said.
sorry, Larry, I didn't hear.
I'm losing you as well.
Yeah, we're losing. They're going in and out again.
19. 1. 0, 8. In for 7.
Yeah, Jose, you're dropping in and out again. Give us a minute.
7, 8. So I
Jose,
do some,
Jose, we're having technical
Hear me?
difficulties again.
Slowly.
Hold on.
Hear me?
I can only hear you in bits and pieces.
Make a motion.
I can't hear you.
Accept. Tech help.
All right, you have to hold on a minute.
Hey, Larry.
Charlie, you there?
Kramer, can you?
Okay, hold on because I'm getting bits and pieces again. Tim's working on it.
All right. Charlie,
Hear you, Larry.
I hear you.
Hey, John, I hear.
yeah, I hear.
can you hear me? But I can hear you. All right, so for 2020,
It keeps going
we're
out.
going to pull 02
I know.
fees will, and you're going to 948.
Yes.
Motion to that effect.
I
on
can't.
that particular.
I haven't heard anything you
Yeah,
guys have said.
I don't know if anybody can hear.
You
Excluding,
You fade in and out, Charlie.
Go ahead, Charlie.
15-0. We'll have a separate vote. 217.
Yeah, that's,
One sec. Who seconded that? Jose. All right. So Alyssa.
James,
Alyssa, can you take a roll?
Ritchie,
Yes.
okay, Council,
If you can't hear Alyssa, I'll. Else hear me? Okay. Councilman Spacuzzo. Council,
They're taking a vote, but I don't know what they're voting on.
Councilman Rivera. Councilman,
No.
okay, and Councilman Kramer.
Well, I never heard anything that was
Okay.
said, Larry, until just now.
Okay, good. All right. So basically, we're going to approve the bill list with the exception of taking a separate vote on Dawn's bill, and we're going to pull the legal fees for the investigator.
Okay. So then I agree to that, and we take a separate vote on the,
Right. All right. So the bill list is approved. Alyssa, can you hear that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good. All right. I just wasn't sure. The reason I did it, I wasn't sure if you were coming through.
No,
All
it's
right. So
okay.
now you can take a separate vote on bill number 19-01948 for Dawn. Someone would have to make a motion to have it paid or a motion not to have it paid.
Larry, I make a motion to pay Bill 19-01948.
Okay, is there a second? All right, if there's no second, then someone have to make a motion the opposite way, not to pay it.
I make a motion that Bill 19-0148 does not get paid.
All right, is there a second? Okay, Alyssa, if you want to call the roll?
For a second.
Councilman Ritchie,
Yes.
Councilman Malillo,
no, you want to say, she's asking you if you want to pay it.
this is
Yeah,
not to,
you have to, but you're voting not to pay it.
We're voting not to pay it.
Right,
Right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, well,
okay.
okay.
I said no.
Yeah, fuck. Oh my God.
So this is the vote.
Listen, we cannot hear you at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
I can't hear any of you guys either.
All right, I'll do the, I'll try to jump in here, maybe. You can
All
hear
right,
me.
thank you.
So the motion was made to not pay the bill by Councilman Rivera. Was there a second on that?
Yes, yeah, Malillo, yes.
Okay, Councilman Malillo seconded it. So now the roll call would be Councilman Rivera,
Yes?
Councilman Ricky?
Yes.
No? Okay. Councilman Spacuzzo?
No.
Councilman Malillo?
I said, what did I say before?
Oh,
There.
Councilman Spacuzzo?
No.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
All right, so I guess it's 3-2. So that bill will not be.
Correct. I'm not a no, I'm a yes.
Oh, I couldn't hear you, Councilman Ricky. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
then
voice is
that bill
still
will not be
on.
paid on this particular bill list. I'm sorry. Okay. Alyssa, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so I guess, all right. Can everyone hear Alyssa?
I can in spurts.
Okay. All right, so if someone wants to make a motion to move the balance, let's take each one by itself. We have 2020-60. Can someone make a motion to move that resolution?
I make a
So the
motion.
temporary budget appropriations.
Yeah, I make a motion to move the ordinance. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Trying to pull it back up, Larry, so I can give you a number, but I don't have.
It's 2020-60. Okay. All right, it's been
Okay, I
moved
make
and
a motion to move
seconded.
2020-60.
Holy shit.
Moved and seconded.
I second it.
Okay. Okay.
Come on.
All right. I'll do the roll call. All right. So, Councilman Rivera,
Yes.
Councilman Ricky,
Yes.
Councilman Spacuzzo,
Yes.
Councilman Malillo,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Okay, that's been moved. Okay. The next one would be 2020-64, which was the introduction of the 2020 municipal budget.
Make a motion to move it.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Second, oh, yeah. We all-
Okay. All right, Councilman Spacuzzo,
Yes.
Councilman Rivera,
Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Ricky. Larry, can you hear me?
I can hear.
Is it a yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, the last one would be 2020-66, agreement for
motion to move
medical
it.
directions services and Spotswood Emergency Medical Services term April 1, 2020 through March 31, 2021 for consideration of $3,000 to provide medical direction to Spotswood. Is there a
Make a
motion
motion.
to approve?
I make a motion with 2020-66.
Okay, is there a second? Second, thank you. Okay, I'll call the roll call because I don't think Alyssa can hear everybody. Councilman Spacuzzo?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Malillo?
Yes.
Councilman Ricky?
Yes.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Okay, so we've dealt with the resolutions. Larry, I think you already did the proclamation, right? So we don't have
Yes.
to do
It's
that.
out of the way. He did a good job on
We
it.
did that already. All right. Any comments? Larry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so why don't you take it over from here? Go ahead.
All right. So any comments and reports from liaisons and department heads?
I want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Malillo speaking. I wish everybody a happy Easter, the whole town, your families, everybody. That's it.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, Larry, I would just like this, Charlie. I'd just like to say happy Easter and happy holidays, everyone, as well. And everybody be safe and healthy and abide by the requests to stay home and away from everybody. And we'll all get through this, hopefully healthy. And I wish everybody well.
Make sure you wear the mask.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'd also like to say the same thing. Everybody, please stay safe. Whatever it is you feel that you need to run out and do, it's really not that important. This thing is it doesn't care how old you are, doesn't care anything. So just be careful, stay safe, and have a happy Easter.
Yep, that's right.
All right, so I guess we can open.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just want to tell everybody that as of right now, Spotswood has 14 cases of the coronavirus. Also, I want everybody to stay alert. Remember Executive 103. If you guys stay home, stay home. Don't have to be going out. Social distance, 6 feet. This is for your protection and everybody else. Also, if anybody knows anybody that has N95 masks or gowns or gloves, we could utilize them because it's very short. Everything is all back order. So, and trying to pick up some, we're running low. Even with the stuff that I received, I gave out to everybody, and it's going pretty quick.
Jose, excuse me 1 second. I do have a question for you because I did have a resident come up to me and say that they had some masks that they'd like to donate.
Right.
Do you want me to give them your number? Have them call the
Just give
number?
them a number.
Okay.
And I'll pick them up, whatever has to be done.
Okay.
Okay. If anybody has any questions about the virus and everything like that, I know there's a lot of stuff on social media that's, some things are false. So if you have a question, my email address is on the borough website. You could email me. And if you have to call me, there's a number that's on there, extension 886. It is working. We had issues with it, so it is working. And please be safe out there. I've been going since 7 o'clock this morning, and it's just been one thing after another.
Amen. That's right. That's right.
Okay, and if you have seniors out there, that need any help or anything like that, we have the Office of Aging. Okay, email Donna, and, you know, we'll try to work out something with ShopRite or whoever it is. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Jose. Anyone else?
The next meeting's April 20th. That's all I know.
First, we got to open it to the public.
Open it up.
All right. Make a motion to open it to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Amen.
All right. Jackie's got her hand up. Go ahead, Jackie.
Jackie Palmer, 9 Shupin Street. Can you give me the status on the RFP for the new Labor Council?
We, as far as I know, no decision has been made yet. I haven't been in contact with Pat. I've been very busy. I will get in touch with her tomorrow, and I will get in touch with you, Jackie, and let you know.
Okay, I'm just curious because I know we haven't had a meeting in a while, and I know that we had received bids, I think, at the beginning of March, right?
Yeah.
And we had given the current labor attorney a 3-month, I guess, contract or whatever we said for him for 3 months. And so I guess we need to move on that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll get on that tomorrow.
And Council President, if I could just chime in for a second.
Sure.
I know that I have not had any communication with Labor Council for quite some time. I know his contract, I think, expired at the end of March. But certainly we're going to have to, once, and just so the public is aware, the courts are effectively closed right now. So any of the pending litigation that's been filed is really stayed at this point until the courts reopen, which is anticipated to be April 26th, but I have a feeling it'll be later than that. But certainly, yes, Councilman Kramer, I think we have to act on that RFP as soon as possible. So I agree.
Yes, I will. And Alyssa, since you can hear this, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
The RFP should be in her office, correct?
That I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll go up after this meeting and I'll look.
Okay.
I'll get an answer for you, Jackie, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you. I have one other question.
Sure.
So I guess we're up to 14 pieces, maybe for Jose or Larry, either one of you can answer. Can you tell us if there's been any impacted, like, municipal employees based upon the COVID? Or what is there any information you can give us? Because as you know, we're all watching, what's happening around us. And I think people are kind of curious in nature, right? Especially being stuck in our homes and watching all this unfold on social media and news and TV and everything. What additional information can you tell us, of if there is any municipal employees that are affected, or, what steps are being taken, at the municipal building or whatever for cleaning or anything of that nature? What can you tell us about that?
I'll let Jose answer that because he's in touch with county and the health department more than I am. I just get, information from him, so I'll just let him answer that. Go ahead, Jose.
I did not get one word that Jackie said.
She's asking about anybody in the municipal building being affected by COVID-19. The township people are concerned about people here and people elsewhere. So she wants to know what's the update on anybody here in the municipal building.
There's something I need to speak with Larry Sachs about.
All right, Jose, maybe the best way to answer it is we don't really want to violate any HIPAA laws or rights of privacy. Certainly if there are any municipal employees, Councilman Rivera, who are township employees, members of our police force, our first responders, I'm sure we're going to keep them all on our well wishes. Is that probably the best thing to answer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Also,
I don't, we know that Jose, I
build,
think you said there's 14 cases in town.
yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, obviously it's widespread. Jackie, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
just
I don't
want
think
to
Jose
remind
can hear you.
I want to remind you both that, my family is a state OEM, so when I ask a question, I already pretty much know the answer.
Right.
And while I appreciate the fact that you want to keep, privacy information private, and I can appreciate that, that is not the norm on what's happening in the state of New Jersey right now. Every town is communicating the gender, if they've known, as well as the age, which Mayor Sealy did allude to in his last letter, as well as notifying. I mean, we're finding out if someone from ShopRite who worked at ShopRite is disclosing whether or not an employee has it. So I don't understand why. I'm not asking you to tell me who. I'm asking you to just tell me if yes or not. That's the question.
Jackie, what I'm going to ask a favor is, obviously, I'm sure the next council meeting is going to be conducted in the same fashion. Let me see whether or not disclosure of that really violates any laws. It may not, because you're right. I have seen, just watching the news, where they'll say certain first responders or certain police officers, fire department, firefighters and EMS, have been impacted upon it. Yeah, I mean, if it's possible for me to disclose that, I'll do that. All right, or Councilman Rivera can do that. But I don't want to put him on the spot this evening, and I don't want to be put on the spot either. So, all right.
Jackie, there is issues going on in other towns where when they disclose that information, so there's some issues going on with that. So right now, like I said, as of right now, I cannot discuss that part. The only thing I can tell you that, we do have 14 cases in town. So, knowing that, family and state OEM, they changed a lot of the protocols now. So again.
Right. Yeah, let's before we start doing that, let's make sure we're doing it correctly. All right. So that's all I would say at this point.
I have one more comment. I'm going to recommend that we move this meeting next month to a WebEx rather than a Zoom meeting. And I believe that Mrs. Bronco Rivera has I know for a fact, because I've worked with her, and she is a phenomenal WebEx host, and I believe she would happily host this meeting on WebEx next time.
That's probably a good suggestion. I think we can look into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable, Jackie.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. Okay. Hi, Colleen. Something didn't happen. Colleen, you still there? It's not unmuting her. Try Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn.
Hello. How are you guys, all of you?
We're doing okay.
Okay. We are okay too. I want to say thank you to Mayor Sealy for the proclamation, and thank you for reading it again. This time I heard you clearly.
Well, I have a copy for you if you'd like it.
Yes, of course. But when this thing's over, maybe
yes.
we can. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. The things I thought I was going to see you like on video. I was going to give a surprise to show you Asher, but you're not on video.
Well, I'll be happy to meet him one day.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I want to everybody knows about the work. Of course, has been postponed, so I don't know when it's going to take place, but it's going to happen anyway. But the donation link is still open. We still donate. You still can donate. That's why I want to say. And then I am very honored for the support of all the residents fast food for my little miracle. Thank you so much, guys.
You're very welcome, and I can't wait to meet him.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Colleen, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Colleen Ronco, Manalapan Road. Getting back to the animal control thing here for a minute.
Yes.
I have a concern with, so for instance, if my dog gets loose and it gets picked up by East Brunswick Animal Control, East Brunswick Animal Control charges the town of Spotswood $175. The dog goes over to Woodbridge and Woodbridge charges $65. Before I would be able to get my animal out over in Woodbridge, I would have to go to East Brunswick and pay them the $175 because Spotswood requires that the individual who owns the animal reimburse the town for the animal control fee. So that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. What I do have an issue with is that when we pay the animal control bill every month, we're paying it out of the animal trust account, which rightfully so. However, when we are taking that $175 in from East Brunswick and East Brunswick reimbursed us $175, it's not going back into the animal control, into the animal trust account. It's going into the general account.
No, it shouldn't.
So that shouldn't be happening. If it's coming out of that account to pay East Brunswick, it's going back into the account when the person pays after they pick their animal up.
Put it on the agenda, that's all. Hey.
So it needs to,
relax.
That needs to be looked at, and any of those fees, those $175 fees that have been reimbursed from East Brunswick, that money needs to go back into the animal account as opposed to going into the general account.
I'm writing this down because I'm gonna check into that for you. Okay.
And I just have one other quick question.
Sure.
Does anybody know if the municipal building has been disinfected recently?
As far as I know, it was disinfected at least twice.
Okay, from an outside company or from our employees?
No, as far as I know, it was an outside company.
It was an outside company.
Okay, thank you. That's all I want.
No problem. That's it. She's done. Anyone else? All right. I will make a motion to close the meeting. Close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So I guess I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
You can do that.
Okay. And
Second.
our next meeting is Monday, April 20th, 2020. Start time is 7:30 p.m.
All in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Aye.
Aye, yes. Have a good one.
Everybody be
Have a
safe.
good weekend.
Okay,
right.
everyone be well.
Everyone
Be
take care.
safe.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
Ed Seeley's got his hand up.
Oh, you forgot him.
Yeah, Ed, what's up? Hey, Ed. You there?
His mic still isn't on.
No.
No, it's still, I guess it's muted.
Okay. He's trying to unmute it, but it's not.
I'm unmuted now.
Hey, okay.
There he is.
Man, that was a long meeting. I didn't get to say a word, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. I know a lot of people probably signed off already, but I do want to thank all of our emergency services, our EMS, the police, our fire. Jose, you're doing a good job. You keep me well informed. It's a long stretch. Hopefully this will be over soon. And I see nobody mentioned the Easter Bunny coming there on Saturday on the fire truck. So have the kids out. We're going to start that at 9 in the morning. I don't know if anybody else is listening, but let's hope we do this better next time, huh?
Yeah, we may have to look for a different platform, Mayor. Maybe we'll look into this WebEx and see if it works a little bit better. It's food for thought, but.
All right.
Yeah. Tim did a hell of a job trying to keep us
Tim did a
going,
great
though.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
All righty. Listen,
right.
everybody stay safe. And we'll be talking again soon.
Thanks a lot, Larry. You too. Take care.
No problem.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.